I have figured out the key tricks to making a short video go viral. See, I'm a 17-year-old with over 3 years of experience in editing short-form content. And in this video, I'm about to show you the entire process step by step and reveal the secrets I've learned by editing for so many short-form clients. And these are the results that you can expect from what I'm about to teach you. In this video, we're going to be covering how to research viral video ideas, how to script, write, and plan your video for the best engagement, and the secret in editing that makes videos go viral. There are 3 ways to get viral video ideas. Number 1, you could take a look at what's trending. This way you can find video ideas that are doing really good right now, and if you hop on that trend, you can bring in a whole new audience from the trending topic. Number 2, you can use AI to generate ideas. And I don't just mean help it to ChatGPT and type in, oh, just give me 10 cool short video ideas. No, that's going to be useless. What you have to do is make a specific prompt for whatever niche you are in. So you could type in something like, give me 10 viral short form ideas in X niche that are trending now and have low competition. Lastly, you can think up of a few things that sound way too good to be true. You ever see those videos that are always like, how I made 300k from a faceless Instagram account at the age of 14? Yeah, that's what we're aiming for. Because when you hear what I've just said, the first question that pops into your head is, how is that even possible? Now, by using these 3 methods, you're gonna get a viral video idea. And the only thing left to do is turn that into a video. Let me show you how. Now, there's a general outline that you have to follow when you're trying to film short-form content. Otherwise, the content's gonna be boring. At the beginning of the video, you have a 5-second window to hook the audience, and this is called the hook, which is just a statement or an idea that grabs attention very fast. To do this, we're gonna take our viral video idea and extract from it a very attractive claim. And this can be one of 3 things: either a big desire, some social proof, or a lot of controversy. Keep in mind, we're going to be using these in the first 5 seconds to just grab attention, and these will actually determine whether the viewer stays or not. Next is the rest of the video, and this is just like recording any other video. Keep your sentences short and concise, get straight to the point, just make sure that you are moving at a fast pace. Listen, the main reason people enjoy short-form content is because it's fast. It gets them information fast, it gets them what they want fast. So keep in mind as you're recording this to get straight to the point and give the viewer the information as fast as possible. And after finishing the first draft, go back in there and take out the areas that are a waste of the viewer's time. As a recording from the literal aspect, make sure your body fits into the entirety of the camera and there's room around it so that you can do zoom ins and zoom outs. And one thing that's going to go a long way in your short-form videos is providing as much energy as possible. And the best way I do this is before recording. This is gonna sound really stupid, but you gotta hype yourself up. Just pretend you're going for like a really big PR, hype yourself up, and then instantly just put all that energy into the hook. As soon as the viewer sees the energy in the hook, they're instantly gonna be attracted into your video. Now just click record, give it your best, and let's get straight into the editing. As for today's editing, I'm going to be teaching you a simple yet very popular style that you can implement onto your videos. So to start off, this is our footage that we're going to be editing for today. First, I dragged in my footage. Next, I'll drag this into my sequence. Now the first step is making the basic cuts. I cut right before the silence and right before the speaking. Then I overlap them on top of each other. By overlapping the cuts, we ensure that our viewer is constantly engaged. And the next step is to start adding some movement to the footage, zoom ins, zoom outs, and lots of tracking. And I decide to use a zoom in preset from a preset pack called Essential Motion 2.0. Then I adjust the position to get the zoom in effect. So I decided to track my character first in this first clip. So first I decided to add some guidelines by clicking show rulers and dragging down 2 lines that align at the center of the screen. Then I zoom in and align my subject to the center of the screen, keyframe the position, move a few keyframes forward, and realign my subject with the guideline. And repeat that with the rest of the clip, and this is what we get. Now I kept on adding some zoom ins and some zoom outs and did some tracking for the rest of the time. The expert tip here is to just use zooms to highlight important statements and use tracking to highlight movement. And this alone makes your edit engaging. And the next step is showing, not telling. This is the trick that will elevate your short content. As long as you can show and deliver the idea to the viewer, visually, not verbally, you can keep them hooked and engaged. Watch the difference between these 2 intros. So let's go ahead and make that.
Someone asked me the other day, they said...
He mentions someone asking him a question. So I decide to word it. I create a text, change the settings to create this text style, then duplicate the layers 3 times. Then I wrote out the words someone asked me and highlighted the word asking by adding a VR glow, dropping the threshold, then setting the tint color to red. Then I align each text with the words being said and shorten them like this. And to spice it up, we will add a preset animation called move from bottom and mess around with the keyframes a bit. Next, I wanted to animate a person asking a question. I grabbed the human icon, placed it where I want, nested the sequence, added a glow, and dragged in the move from bottom animation preset. Then, to show that character icon asking a question, I animated it moving to the left side and then animated the text popping out from behind it. And to finish it up, I added some stock footage of a person texting. And I also added a mask around it, dropped the top a tiny bit, and added some feather. This gave us this fade in effect. Placed it under our text, and this is what our intro looks like.
Someone asked me the other day, they said, Jack, can I...
Now for this section, to show what he's telling, I decided to remove the footage and add a dust and scratch overlay. Now that we have a background, I went ahead and animated all the things he said. First, I add our character, then I write out the words, "Can I build?" Placed our character above the text. Then, to showcase a career, I added some stock footage of money. Then once again, showing his words with subtitles, I write out the words "out of just." Then added some stock footage of a person using their phone to showcase some short content. As for that extra touch, I just added the logos of social platforms and animated a small movement for all of them. As for this last clip in our hook, I added the question mark with some glow. Then I animated it popping up using the transform effect and increasing in the size and then decreasing. I did this so that I could use it as a transition to another section with the dust and scratch effect. And on top of that, I just added a rotating animation.
Asked them a question back.
By the way, if you guys feel like I'm going through this video too fast, I'm very sorry about that, but I just want to keep the pace going. But if you need some personalized help, I do offer one-to-one coaching. Hey, Future Joseph here. I'm here to tell you that I've changed this coaching package to give you guys a lot more free stuff. So now, not only do you get your one-on-one coaching session with me, but it also comes with free tutorials on more short-form styles like the one you're watching right now, an in-depth guide on Premiere's basics. You also get the presets and plugins that I use to make these videos, with free assets, sound effects, overlays, and much more. I highly recommend you check this out. The website's going to be linked down in the description below. Alright, back to the video. So now that we're done with the hook and the intro, we can finally calm down on the editing and focus on keeping the viewer watching. So for this next part, I just add some stock footage of a person scrolling and some stock footage of a clock. As for the section after it, I just wanted to give the viewer some rest and left the video as it is with some track. Then I once again worded out this statement with a dust and scratch background. Also, I got bored, so I added the wave warp effect and changed the color.
You yourself were consuming.
And for this next part, I placed some stock footage and added the mask and increased the feather amount to get that fade in. Then I followed it up with some more stock footage and I worded out all the words that he said while highlighting the color of the words short form content. Guys, I know this is getting a bit hectic and long, but we're almost done, so just bear with me.
Not even conscious of it.
I added a simple zoom into the following clip.
Think of how many other people are doing the same.
Some stock footage of people walking, some stock footage of a person on their phone.
Is it possible to build a career out of just short form content?
Then back again with the dust and scratch overlay. Then I worded out the words "is it possible" and highlighted the word "possible" with a glow. Then to visually represent building, I added a gif of construction. I also used the pop-up preset on it, then followed it up with some stock footage of a person editing. As for this last part of the video,
1000%, it's one of the most in-demand forms of content in this current day and age.
I wrote out the 1000 in green and animated its position moving from right to left and added a wave warp effect to get this. I then worded out the phrase "in demand" and added an icon of the video. I also animated that icon to pop up from behind the text using a mask and finished it off with some stock footage of some computers. And here is what we were able to edit in under an hour.
Someone asked me the other day, they said, Jack, can I build a career out of just short form content? And I asked them a question back. I said, have you watched a TikTok in the last 24 hours? They said, no, Jack, I've watched 30. So I told them, listen, my friend, if you yourself are consuming that level of short form content and you're not even conscious of it, think of how many other people are doing the same. So is it possible to build a career out of just short form content? 1000%. It's one of the most in demand forms of content in this current day and age.
And if you thought we were done, my friend, you're dead wrong. No. I'm just messing. Now we gotta take care of the sound design. To be able to get really good sound design, you have to make sure that you edit as if something is moving through really thick air. So lots of whooshes for the movement. So I open up my Motion Pro extension and drag in a few whooshes that I like. First thing I do is add some whooshes to the moving text at the beginning, then drop their volume by -10. Then I wanted to spice things up with a little transition here, so I added this smooth transition from the Premiere Composer preset pack. I also added the cast register sound effect when he said career, once again really trying to bring life to the words that are being said. Then I added these sound effects to the words popping up on screen. Once again, more whooshes according to the movement.
Them a question back.
Then to build up the anticipation, I took a hit sound effect and reversed it, and we got this result.
Have you watched a TikTok in the last 24 hours?
And again, another transition, more hit sound effects matched with text.
That level of short form content.
More transitions from the Premiere Composer pack, more whoosh sound effects for movement, then a hit sound effect at the end and a whoosh for this animation. Lastly, we're gonna need subtitles. So to do this, we go up to window, down to text, and click on transcribe sequence. Then we click this little button up here, and depending on the style of your subtitles, you'll mess around with these settings. I want mine to have 2 words per subtitle, so I drop the amount of characters, drop the time to 2 seconds, and select single and click on create. Next, I'll go into one of my subtitles and open up the essential graphics tab. Then I'll change all the settings to the style that I want, create a new style with those settings, and apply it using this arrow here. After that is done, I'm gonna go through and remove the subtitles in places I don't need them. Lastly, I'll just select all my subtitles, click on graphics and titles, and upgrade them to a graphic layer. Then just add some background music and lower the volume. And after all that, ladies and gentlemen, we're finished.
Someone asked me the other day, they said, Jack, can I build a career out of just short form content? content and I asked them a question back. I said, have you watched a TikTok in the last 24 hours? They said, no, Jack, I've watched 30. So I told them, listen, my friend, if you yourself are consuming that level of short form content and you're not even conscious of it, think of how many other people are doing the same. So is it possible to build a career out of just short form content? 1000%. It's one of the most in-demand forms of content in this current day and age.
I mean, honestly, this edit turned out a lot better than I expected. I honestly think this style has a lot of potential, and if you start to apply this style to your own videos, you're going to be able to drag in a whole new audience that enjoys this style of content. Once again, thank you so much for bearing with me throughout this whole process, and if you have any questions, just go ahead and leave it in the comments below or reach out to me personally. Thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate every single one of you, and as usual, I'll see you in the next one, and God bless you, people.